Hello, this is Tim, and I want to show off the SmartMatrix LED display. It is a 32 by 32 LED panel powered by a Teensy 3.1 Arduino compatible processing board, which the kit that I bought comes with an interface shield, which basically plugs into the Arduino and makes an interface between the Arduino and the panel itself. Right now I'm running some software on it called the Aurora display demo, whatever it is. It's basically kind of a way to show off the panel, what it can do. It can show patterns like you see here. There's on the top of the board, which you don't, just up there, actually, yeah, right there, there's a little infrared input, so I have a remote control in my hand. I can change the display. This one's a little clock. There's just lots of different little patterns. Quite a few really nice ones. All the software is open source and it's very easy to program. I'm going to be making some of my own just to try it out. There's a little infinity symbol. Now the pixels that you see on the screen are blown out for the video. I actually had to dim the screen a lot. It's much brighter than this, but for some reason this camera, when it sees pixels, they look super glowy and it doesn't look quite right, especially for stuff like this. This is like really bright. The refresh rate on it is very fast. It's very smooth. It's really nice. Now these are all just like little demo displays that you can do, but you can also do animated GIFs or GIFs, depending on how you like to say that word. I think I say either way. I'll change it to that's audio. Animations. So the little software package comes with some built-in stuff just to show off. You can make your own. The GIFs just have to be 32 by 32 pixels. And I'll cycle through some of these. As you can see, it's really smooth animation. I really like it a lot. Now the LEDs themselves are very tiny and they're very bright, and what you see in front of the screen is kind of a frosted acrylic. I think it's acrylic. Anyway, it's just a piece of a panel that sits in front of it and diffuses the light, so it looks a little more natural. If you didn't have that, it would just your eyes wouldn't be able to really see much on there. It'd be too pixelated. This is already pixelated enough. It would just be way more pixelated. So I'll cycle through some more. There's quite a few different animations you can display on here, and it'll cycle through. You can have a clock if you want. There's a clock on the front of it. So anyway, that's the panel. Very programmable. That's what I'm most interested in. It involved putting it together, which is something that I was not very experienced with. Normally you think putting it together, that means just like screws and bolts and wires and stuff. But really, for this panel, putting it together really means soldering all this together. So what we have here is the Teensy 3.1 board, this little green part right here. That's the actual computer. Everything behind it is the interface shield that basically makes it work with the panel itself. So there's a lot going on behind, on the other side of this that you can't see. Basically, it just plugs directly into the LCD panel. I keep saying LCD, LED panels. So there's some interface pins. This wire here basically goes up to the infrared receiver, so I can use a remote control. And there's the power right here. Right inside there's a little tiny SD card where I can load up GIFs and things like that. It's a little 4 GB card. I can put a ton of stuff on there. And right on top of it is a USB port. So I can plug it into my computer, program it, install new software, whatever I want. So I saw this first. I'd never done any soldering before in my life. So I saw this thing online and I knew that I'd have to solder it together, so I'm like, I have to get some experience on how to solder so I don't mess this thing up, because I really don't want to do that. I want it to work. So fortunately, I found some basic electronics kits, got some experience soldering and had a few failures, but I had some successes too. Learned a lot from it, so when I got to this one, it wasn't too hard. Still a little tricky, wasn't hard, but it was easy to mess up. So fortunately, I got it all together and it all worked. I had a little scare there because I thought I'd mess something up, but it turned out all right. And altogether, I really enjoy this thing. It's just a lot of fun playing around with it, showing it off, and getting to see all kinds of stuff. So lots of cool animations. I like the animations, but I think I like more all the patterns you can do. There's also different modes in here for spectrographs and things like, you know, you play audio and it makes the graphics move to the sound. I don't have a speaker on here yet. I'll have to figure out how to do that. It's basically just buying the electronics components and soldering them into the right spots, or making interface boards, things like that. This also, like I showed before, has a clock. I don't have it, the processor has a clock on it, but it's not backed up. So if I unplug this thing, I lose everything. So there's I can just buy a little interface for putting those little watch batteries in there, and I can get that working. That's probably going to be my next project, is just soldering in a little battery holder. Once I do that, I'll be able to unplug it and take it to work with me and not have it lose all the time and date. So that's all I got. Talk to you later.